On this episode of RockRiverRails, a casual day off work to recover from my birthday weekend turned into a day spent on the CPKC Watertown Subdivision, thanks to the Midwest Heads Up Facebook group. With a confirmation of Canadian Pacific 8781, the Hapag-Lloyd Tribute Unit departing Bensenville, Illinois, leading CPKC Train 149, along with Kansas City Southern to Mexico, Gray Ghost number 4527, leading Train 247, and departing Bensenville shortly after. We loaded up our gear and headed to one of our favorite photogenic spots along the CPKC Watertown sub, just west of Reeseville, Wisconsin. Our location is the Willrit Road Bridge, which offers a great overhead view of passing trains. This CPKC trackage hosts Amtrak's Borealis and Empire Builder, as well as road freights and local CPKC consists. With the backstory and location details out of the way, let's get right into the action as Amtrak's Borealis from Chicago to St. Paul, Minnesota is approaching quickly.
Amtrak 1333, no defects, 139.9, main number 2 over, or main number 1 over.
Amtrak's Borealis service began in May 2024 under the Amtrak Midwest brand and is an extension of the Chicago to Milwaukee Hiawatha train. A little while later, CPKC Train 149 comes into view in the distance with CP Locomotive 8781, the Hapag-Lloyd Tribute Unit. Canadian Pacific painted the locomotive to recognize Hapag-Lloyd, one of the railroad's key customers for container service from Port St. John, New Brunswick. Even more fitting for the occasion, Train 149 is half auto racks and half intermodal containers, and on this day, the train had numerous Hapag-Lloyd containers in the consist. 149 originates in Bensenville, Illinois, bound for Roberts Bank, British Columbia, and works Shoreham Yard, Minneapolis, and Olyth Yard, Calgary, Alberta. 8781 is a GE ES44AC, and this is our first time shooting the train running the rails. We're gifted a special surprise next with a CP EMD locomotive trio leading Ballast train 8 WWA. SD40-2, number 6073, leads the charge, with SD40-2 6017 second, and SD30C Eco 5025, a former SD40-2 rebuild, rounding out the power. Rounding the curve now is Amtrak's Eastbound Borealis with locomotive 518, a GE P32-8, 8-32 BWH racing towards Milwaukee, and GE P42DC number 82 on the rear wearing Phase 7 colors, which look fantastic in the afternoon sunlight. Amtrak's westbound Empire Builder, bound for the Pacific Northwest, appears in the distance, with GE P42DC number 27 paired alongside Siemens ALC 42 number 312. GE's Canadian Pacific 8809 and Kansas City Southern to Mexico 4893 are working hard pulling their eastbound manifest train. We'll crank up the volume so you can enjoy the sounds of the locomotives as well.
Must be on. Yes, sir. Looks like, let's see here, Oxford, nobody fits. They want me to hold you at Dalton, I guess the manager does, because of how congested Adams is. So let me get you one down to hold the main here at Dalton.
With the golden hour upon us, our final train of the day is CPKC 247, a daily expedited manifest from Bensonville, Illinois to Pig's Eye Yard in St. Paul, Minnesota. The train works Portage, Wisconsin, and Cottage Grove, Minnesota, and today's leader is Kansas City Southern to Mexico, Gray Ghost number 4527. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for watching. As always, we'll see you next time.